hockey, but I wasn't allowed to play. And I remember one day my brother said, Cheryl, you can come out and play road hockey with us, and you can go in net. And then, of course, they'd aim the ball at my head, and the ball would roll down this endless street, and I'd run, only to get that ball to come back and play net again. I'd get up when I fell, because I loved it. My mom says to this very day, she would look out the kitchen window, and she'd see me smiling. Why? I'd found my passion. Ladies, the only way we find our passion is by participating, engaging in our lives. Now, one day, my mom and dad called us in. They said, Kirk, Karen, Gary, Cheryl, come on inside. And we went inside the family living room. My grandparents were in from Montreal. My siblings were there, my parents. My mom, she turned on the television. Not because of the sport that I was about to witness, but about the hope and the inspiration and the messaging that the Olympics provide. It was the opening ceremonies to the Olympic Winter Games. And when I watched Canada walk in, I felt this amazing inspiration overcome me, saying, Cheryl, you can always be stronger, you can always be better. That was what my mom wanted to be instilled in us from a young age. In that moment, I turned to my grandma, somewhere in this area. I know you girls aren't my grandma, but I looked at my grandma and I said, Grams, I'm going to be there one day. My grandma didn't say anything, so I looked at her, I said, Grandma, I'm going to be there one day. She still didn't say anything. So I said, Grandma, I'm going to be there one day. And in that moment, she said something to me that lives with me to this very day. She said, Cheryl, if that is what you want, believe in yourself. Give it everything you've got, because you will never know unless you try. Now, I took those words to heart. I immediately went to my bedroom. I started writing words all over my bedroom walls. Now, don't do this. I wrote words like courage, passion, vision, dreams. I didn't even spell half of them correctly. I heard they were good words. I was 8. I was 8 years old when the dream was born. I was a little girl. When I was a woman, that became a vision that I saw come true. This hockey team is made of 21 females, but in the year 2006, it was the Olympic Winter Games, and the team hadn't been doing very well. So the coaching staff had come to 29 girls and said, girls, are you willing to leave your family, your friends, your job, security, whatever it may be, to move to Calgary to train full-time, to try and make the team? Now, I was scared. I thought, what if I don't make it? What will I do? But something within me said, Cheryl, believe in yourself. Give it everything you've got. So I moved out to Calgary, but if that wasn't enough, right before the truly intensive training started, the coaching staff came up to us and said, girls, remember I mentioned that we want you to be a greater team. We want you to reach down for your passion, for your goals, for your vision, and fight to become the best that you can be. The coach said, I'm going to take 29 of you to Calgary, not 21. You're going to compete against one another. And oh yeah, before the truly intensive training starts, we're going to take you on a 29-day road trip. So all 29 of you are going to go to Prince Edward Island and undergo high-volume training. I don't know if you know what high-volume training means, but this was anywhere from 6 to 12 hours of physical exercise a day. We were tired. We were exhausted. They put us in groups of 3 and 4, veterans with rookies, rookies with rookies, veterans with veterans. They wanted to see, could you believe in each other, be a good teammate? Could you listen? No gossip. Our days went something like this. We'd wake up in the morning, we'd eat, because you must fuel your body. Do not be afraid of your food. Food energizes not just your muscles, but your mind. So we'd eat, then of course we'd go for an hour-long beach run. After the hour-long beach run, we'd eat again. Then we'd go on the ice for 2 full hours. After the 2 full hour ice session, we'd eat again. Then we'd do an hour of stick handling. Then we'd have a snack. Then we'd do an hour of shooting. Then we'd have a bike ride. Then we'd eat again. Then we'd go back on the ice. We'd eat again. And then we'd do yoga to de-stress. We'd go to bed, and we'd do it again the next day. Do you think we were tired, ladies? Do you think we were tired? We were exhausted and slightly irritable. 29 girls competing for the same spots on the same team. And we started to do this. We weren't being inclusive, including one another, because we were worried about ourselves. In fact, one cabin wasn't getting along at all. The coach had actually come up to us and said, you know what? You're not going on the ice anymore. Instead, we've rented each and every one of you a bike. For the next 4 days and 3 nights, you're going to ride your bike around Prince Edward Island in your groups of 3 and 4. As I mentioned, one cabin wasn't getting along very well at all. And the coach actually said, please start listening to one another. But this cabin said, no, please split us up. We're not getting along. We really don't like one another. And the coach said, well, you're not going to be staying in a hotel room after 4 to 6 hours of riding your bike. Instead, the Canadian military, for the first time ever, has lent us their camping gear. And you're going to tent together, even though you're not getting along. Now this cabin looked and said, please just split us up again. And the coach said, well, I have one question for you. Are you a team? And the answer was yes, but the coach said no buts. If you're a team, you listen, you communicate, you compromise, you be a good person. Because through that comes great self-esteem and value and worth. Figure it out, stick together. Because the foundation for every individual, every girl in this room must be respect of themselves and of each other. You're just having a bad day. You know, something's going on at home, personally. You don't feel good about yourself, maybe, those around you. So your teammates, those girlfriends, they have to help you. So sometimes that means taking an extra turn and leaving someone in the middle. But guess what? We all have our time in the middle. We crossed the finish line. It was a 28 day, and we did it efficiently and in record time because we worked together. We were all hugging. We all respected one another. If you ask me to this very day, I truly believe the Olympic gold medal was won on the bike path in Prince Edward Island before we even got to the Olympic Winter Games. When 29 girls made a conscious choice to work together, be confident, be proud, believe in one another, stick together, no gossip, and making a mark together. But we had 1 day left, everybody. It was the 29th day, and I remember I was tired, I was exhausted, I was feeling sorry for myself. And our coach called a meeting. She said, ladies, you've been unbelievable. You stuck together, and she said, tomorrow is your final day of training camp. It is your 29th and final day, and tomorrow, she said, you will be doing a triathlon. Now, I didn't know what to do. Are you kidding? I was so tired, so exhausted. I had no idea how I was going to push myself through this. That's when she said, well, there's a good part to this. In your groups of 3, yeah, you're going to do a triathlon. But you're going to choose who does what leg of that triathlon. So you're going to decide who does the run, the bike, and the swim. You're going to be accountable to each other, your strengths, your weaknesses. And we chose our runner, our biker, and our swimmer. Now, we had some near drownings in the pool and some terrible accidents on the bike path. But the most memorable moment for me happened in the water. We had a girl on our team, and we all know someone like this, who is blessed with an unbelievable talent for the game of hockey. Now, each and every one of you in here is blessed with an unbelievable skill for something. You may not have found your passion yet, but I guarantee you, you are all blessed with a gift. This girl's gift was sports, hockey in particular. But because she was blessed from such a young age, she never learned how to fight, how to push herself, how to work. Well, now she was in the pool and she was struggling. This was something she wasn't used to. She was struggling, and the coach comes over to her and says, oh, I've asked you to do too much. 5 more laps, and you can get out. Picture her teammates, the girls around the pool. All of us did this. And we're thinking to ourselves, here we go, just cheat. Don't fight, don't work. You're going to make this team anyways. But why can't you reach outside yourself, work hard, believe, have the courage to push yourself, not just for you, but for us. And in that moment, she actually popped her head up over the side of the pool, and she screamed to the coach, hey, coach, hey, coach. And the coach came over. She said, Coach, has anyone finished? And the coach said, yeah, as a matter of fact, a number of girls have finished. And in that moment, she said something that I will never forget. She said, "Okay then, I will stay in the water and I will finish every single lap, no matter how long it takes me." All of a sudden, we all did this, and we all started clapping, and we cheered her on. In one moment, ladies, she had earned the respect of her entire team. Why? Because she decided to do it not just for herself, but for the girlfriends around her. In that moment, I realized we all have an impact on one another. We make our mark. What's your impact going to be?